accounting principle. Okay, good morning. Good to see you again. It's Mr. Good. Okay, we're just going to look at what the accounting principle under part one. Okay, if you didn't watch part one, please go and check part one. We have an introduction there under the accounting principle. Then you continue with the accounting principle, whereby we're just going to look at it. Part one. Remember, with 4 parties for accounting principle of part one, part two, part three, and also part four, whereby part one is just about the code and also what's in the password. Part two is whereby we're just going to look at what's in the letters arrangement as well. Part three is whereby we're just going to look at what the gender. Then part four is an item or any object. Okay. Then all right, let's go. Today we're just going to look at what in part one, the arrangement of letters, all right? As you know, that knowledge is more about the accounting principle. We need to follow what Mr. Good's rule. Mr. Good's rule. Mr. Good's rule says that we have the first rule that we normally going to use today is whereby we're just going to look at what the total. Here, we're just going to look at what the total number, the total number of letters. The total number of letters. Remember, we said that we need what? The total single space, all right? Therefore, here we're going to look at what? The total number of what? Letters, which is going to be what? A total single space that you're just talking about, all right? Then after that, we have a second rule. We need to draw what? A horizontal line. The horizontal line indicates what the events. Remember, the horizontal line is just talking about events, all right? Indicates events, and we have event 1 of letter, event 2, event 3, and event 4. Then the last point, what we're going to do, we're going to put what? A multiplication sign between what? The horizontal line, the product between the line. Then after that, you need to write your answer in what? In weights. All right. Make sure your answer must have what? In weight. If you are how many letters that are just gonna we are talking about how many arrangement of weight that are just going to be what? 4. All right. Therefore, all right. Then. All right, then we normally say that these are the 4 rules that we need to know before you just going to attack this what arrangement of what letters. You need to find out the total number of what letters, a horizontal line or the events. You draw the horizontal line or the event. That horizontal line indicates what event. After that, you put a multiplication sign between what a horizontal line. Then after that, you do your choices or your options of how many letters that we have. Then after that, you punch your calculator. That is simple, all right? Remember, we have 2 ways that are very important. If the letters are repeated or if the letters are not what repeated, it means that the letters we're going to use once. If the letters are not repeated, then if the letters are repeated, you use the letter, then you will bring it back on what on the total single space of what letters. All right, let's go. That is the rule that we are just going to look at today. All right, then we have arrangement of letters. When we're talking about the arrangement of letters, is whereby we are just going to look at what if the letters, if the arrangement. If the arrangement of letters, the repetition, if the repetition, we are just going to look at what if the repetition of what of letters is allowed. The repetition of letters is allowed. Then what is going to be happen if the repetition of letters is allowed as well? We are just going to look at what if the repetition of letters. If the repetition of letters is not what allowed. All right, what is how many ways that are just going to be what created. All right, and also we're just going to look at what in the treatment. All right, then we're just going to look at what's the treatment today. A treatment of what of letters. All right, the treatment of letters. If the letters are treated as what's identical and also different, then we're going to do that. Then after that, We are just going to look at what? A factorial. Then we are just going to look at what? A factorial sign. How factorial sign is just going to work here on the arrangement of letters. As well, we are just going to look at what? The fixed letter. If the letter is fixed, then how many arrangements that are just going to be what? Created. All right? Therefore, these are the 5 points that are very important when you're just going to look at what? The arrangement of what letters. The first point is whereby you're just going to look at what? The repetition of letters is allowed, and also if the repetition is not allowed of what? Of letters, as well the treatment of what letters, as well as the factorial, as well the fixed letter in what? In the way. All right? Let's go. Let's start with what the lesson. Let's start with a lesson. All right? On the exam, they're just going to give what the weight. All right? The weight, like they're just going to say that we have given what the certain weight. Like this one, we have a break, then we have a break, yes. We have the weight, which is break, all right? Then on this weight, what's going to, how they're going to ask you? They are just going to ask you how many arrangement of this letter that we have. How many arrangement of these letters that we have, that we are just going to make what the way that have what 5 letters. How many arrangement that is just going to be created if this weight is just going to be what make any weight that consists of what 5 letters. All right, let's count this weight first. We need to count the weight first. How many letters that we have, because we need what the total space of what of the weight. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have what 5 letters. Therefore, that is the total number of letters. Remember the rule that we did at the first. Then we say that we need to find what the total number of letters. All right. Then on the way that you have just been given, you need to calculate each letter and each letter is just having what each own what event. All right. It's very important to note that this B is just consisting of what one event, and also R having only event, and also A having only what event. All right. Then what we're going to do, we are just going to say that if the repetition is allowed, how many word arrangement that are just going to be created by using these letters on this weight, okay? Then we are just going to say that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. This horizontal line indicate the events or choices or options that we are just going to be doing on this weight, all right? Therefore, we are just going to put what a multiplication sign. This is a multiplication sign between what? Between the events, all right? Then let's go. The repetition is allowed. It means that the weight, the letter that we are just going to use here, we are just going to replace it back to the total space of what? Of letters, all right? Therefore, how many letters do you have here on this weight? We have 5 letters. Therefore, as well as the repetition is allowed, that means this letter, we are just going to use it as much as you can. Then we're going to take this letter, then we bring it back on the total space. We are still going to have what? 5 letters. We're still going to have what? 5 letters as 5 letters. Remember, the repetition is allowed. The number that you're going to put it here on the event is just going to remain what? The same. All right? Therefore, we're just going to take your calculator. You multiply 5 times 5 times 5 is just going to be equals to 3,125 what weights arrangement that are just going to be what created. Okay, then we're just going to have the arrangement of letters. The arrangement, we are just going to create the weights. We are just going to create what the weights that are 3,125 weights by using all of these what alphabet. If the repetition of letters is allowed, therefore we call this is a fundamental what counting principle. All right. Then after that, what you're going to do if the repetition of letters is not allowed, then what you're going to do, we are just going to draw what the horizontal line. As you see, we are just having a 5 horizontal line. Between the horizontal line, we put what a multiplication sign as usually. Then the repetition is not allowed. Then that's what means. It means that the letter we're just gonna use what once. Then you go no longer going to going back to the total space. Take it back to the total space. Then what you're going to do? You're just going to say on the first event we're just choosing on the 5 letters. Then use that letter on the first event. Then you are no longer going to replace it back to what? To the total space. Then we left with what? 4 letters. Then we left with what? 3 letters. Then we left with what? 2 letters as well as 1 letter. Then after that, you're just going to say that we have 5 times 4 times 3 times 5. 5 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 is equal to 120. 120 weights that are just going to be what? Created. Alright? Therefore, if the repetition is not allowed of what? Letters that we have. Okay? Therefore, we are just going to have what? 120 weights. Alright? Therefore, we have the treatment of letters. We have the treatment of letters. What treatment you're done with these two? Here on the treatment, you're just going to look at what's only 2 weights, all right? Then they're just going to tell you that on the exam that the letters are treated as identically, okay? The letters are treated as identically, or the letters are treated as different, okay? Therefore, we have these 2 weights under the treatment. Where this treatment applies only if the weight is just having the repetition of letters. Like example, like flats, okay? If you are just having flats, like you see that O is just having what? It's just having 2 O's here. Then we have the letters that are repeated that are the same, all right? Therefore, if they are just saying that the first rule, if the weight have the same letters, if the weight have the same letters, if the weight have what? A same letters, what you're going to do? If the weight have a same letters, and you've also been told that the treatment of letters is treated as identical. Therefore, what you're going to do? The number of arrangement is equal to n factorial divided by m factorial times k factorial times a factorial times dash. Okay, we have the formula that we normally use when we are just about the treatment of letters. This formula says that this n indicates the total number of letters that we have. And also, these M and K and A is just representing the number of letters that are repeated, okay? Then after that, you use what? Factorial. Then after that, you punch what? Your calculator. Okay, let's go. Then, for example here, how many word arrangement that are just going to be created here if this word is treated as identical? Then we're going to say that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 letters. The total space of what? Letters is 6. Then we're going to say we have 6 factorial of letters divided by the letters that are repeated. How many letters that are repeated? Only 1 letter that is repeated, which is O. Then it's repeated how many times? 2 times. Then we are just going to say we have 2 factorial, okay? Then after that, you punch your calculator. Then we have 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial. Then we're going to get what? 360 what? A weight arrangement that are just going to be what? Form, okay? Therefore, we only use this formula only if the weight is just having what? The same letters, and the letters are treated as identically, we use this number. For example, okay, if we are just having needed, if we are just being told that we have what needed, do you see I have needed here? Then needed, then how many word arrangement that are just going to be created here if the letters are treated as identically? What you're going to say? We're going to say that we have how many letters? We calculate the number of letters on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 letters over a number of letters that are repeated. Then we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 factorial times how many letters again that are repeated is D, is E, and also what is D. Then D is repeated how many times? 2 times. Then we're gonna have 2 factorial. Then after that you punch what in your calculator. We have 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 2 factorial. Then you're going to get the answer, which is 16 weights that are just going to be what is created. We have 16 weights that are just going to be formed, okay? Therefore, this formula is where these M factorial times K factorial is the number of letters that are repeated, okay? Therefore, we are just going to say this is a treatment of letters as identically. If the letters are treated as different, if the letters now are treated as what is different, what is going to be happen? Then the letters, if they are treated as different, then we're going to say that is whereby we're just going to talk what with what factorial, okay? Then we have a number of what letters, we just calculate what the number of letters, then what factorial. Then if these letters is treated as different, it's just gonna be equal to what 6 factorial. How many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 6 factorial is equals to 6 factorial is equals to 6 factorial is equals to 720 weights that are just going to be formed if the weight is treated as what different, okay? That means that you have to talk about a factorial. All right. Then if the weight, if this weight we have needed, again we have needed again is treated as what is treated as different. How many weight arrangement that are just going to be created? What we're going to do? We're going to say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 letters. Then it's just going to be what 6 factorial. Then you punch what your calculator. 6 factorial is same as what is same as 720 what weights. All right. Therefore, we call it. It is a treatment of what of letters identically different. Then we use factorial. Here is the number of letters factorial divided the letters that are number of letters that are repeated. Then you multiply them. That's the formula that we normally use when you just talk about these two treatments. All right, let's go. Let's look at what factorial now. Okay, then factorial is whereby we just talk about what the descending of what of natural what numbers. All right, then we normally say that's a factorial. A factorial is a sign that we use when the repetition of numbers is not allowed. It's a sign. We call this is a factorial. This is a descending. This is a descending of what? Of natural numbers. Like for example, 7 factorial is same as 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Therefore, we call this is a descending, is a product of what? Descending of natural numbers. We call it is a factorial. Then we make sure that the number must be end with what? 1 at 1, because 1 is a natural what? Number. Okay, we call it is a factorial. Is whereby we are just going to look at what the different things, or is whereby we normally use factorial only if you are just being told that the letters or the digits are not what repeated. Okay, the repetition is not what allowed. You see, this is whereby the repetition is not allowed of letters or digits. Okay, but it depends on what on number of what arrangement. Okay, then here this factorial, why is important this factorial to know where is where? Is where only if is work only if, for example, if I'm just having exam, the word exam, okay? Then they're just asking you on the exam how many word arrangements that are just gonna be created here. If the word is just having what 5 letters, if the word is just gonna consist of what 5 letters, here we're just having what the word that are just gonna be created. That's a what 5 letters. Then the repetition of letters is not allowed. The repetition is not allowed. The repetition of letters is not allowed. Then 5 letters, we're just choosing from here. How many letters do we have here? We have 5 letters exactly, all right? Therefore, if it's 5 letters, the repetition of letters is not allowed. What are we going to do? We're going to say that we have 5 letters for the first event, then the second event we left with 4 letters because the repetition is not allowed. You use the letter, then you throw it away. Then we left with 23, then we left with 2 and 1. Okay? Therefore, this is same as what 5 factorial. Why is same as 5 factorial? Because this is a descending of what? Of natural numbers until what? 1. Therefore, we use factorial when you're just arranging this word in a full of letter that we have. You see this letter, this word just what 5 letters, and also just gonna arrange this word in how many letters? In 5 letters. Then we're supposed to write what 5 factorial because it's just gonna be what repetition is not what allowed. Okay? Then if they're just being told that arrange this word in 3 ways, we want to create what the word that gonna consist of what 3 letters. That word is just going to consist of what 3 letters. It's not factorial on that moment. Then what we're going to do? We are just going to say we have 3 letters. Now we want to use these letters to create the way that have what 3 letters. Then what we're going to say, we have 5 letters at the first. Then we have 4 letters, then we have 3 letters. This is not what is same as what 5 factorial. This is not the same as what 5 factorial. For 5 times 4 times 3, which is same as 60. Then we have 60 words that are just going to be what created here. Do you see? Then it depends on what factorial is depend on what on the number of what letters, on the number of words that we have, the letter that we have on the way. If you are just having the arrangement of letters that consist of number of letters that we have on this way, that is going to be what 5 factorial. But if we are just arranging the letters, but the position of arrangement is not equal to the number of what letters. It's no longer going to be what factorial. Then it's just going to be what 5 times 4 times 3, because you're just going to look at what only 3 what events. All right. Then here we have another rule that I need to give you. It is whereby we just talk about the number of what arrangement that have the number of arrangement. The number of arrangement whereby we are just arranging something with a short what period or the short what events. Okay, as you see here, we have 5 letters, but you need to arrange these letters to the what to the position or to the events that are short to the number of what letters. All right. Then what we're going to do here, we are just going to say we have n factorial over on minus r factorial. This is the formula of arrangement that we normally use when we're just arranging something that is having a simple space, but you are just arranging that thing on what on the small one, on the short what a simple space. Like we have 5 letters, but you are just going to arrange these letters on what on the 3 what position. All right. Therefore, this R is stand for how many position or how many events that you are just going to arrange that weight or item or anything. Okay. Then we have how many letters? We have 5 letters over UN, and we have 5 minus who are how many position that are just going or event that are just going to arrange. We are just going to arrange what 3 position minus 3 bar factorial. Then after that, you punch your calculator. We have 5 factorial. We have 5 factorial divided by 3 minus, which is gonna be equal to 16 with factorial. Then it's the same answer that's gonna be produced. But if you just take this one, just draw the horizontal line, then forget about the formulas. If you are not going to understand it, leave it. Just take the horizontal line, put the multiplication sign. After that, you count the number of letters, the total sum space of letters. Then you do the representation. The representation is allowed or the representation is not allowed. Then you apply your rule. That is going to be simple from you. Okay, leave the formula. All right, let's go. Okay, the last one. A fixed letter. If you're just talking about the fixed letter now, a fixed letter. A fixed letter. Okay, we have given a weight like any weight confused. Confused. Okay, any weight like yeah. All right. This is a big weight where we are just about a weight that consists of how many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then it's consists of how many? 15 letters, because it's very important to find out how many letters that we're just talking about on that weight first. That's the rule. After that, you draw the horizontal line. Between the horizontal line, you put the multiplication sign. Then after that, you go and check. We are just talking about the repetition is allowed or the repetition is not allowed. Okay. Then after that, you know when the repetition is allowed and as well the repetition is not allowed. What you're going to do. Okay. Then all right. We have this weight. Then on the exam, we are just telling you that this weight is just going to be arranged again. Then we're going to make sure that this weight is just going to start with O and end with what O. It's just going to start with O and end with what O on that weight that we are just going to be what created. Then after that, I'm just telling you that the treatment of what same letters is treated as identical. We are just going to give you what this treatment, okay? Those treatment, the weight that are the same, they are treated as what identically, all right? Then what you're going to do here, this O and O here, this O, they are just taking here on what on this weight. Then after that, we say these are the fifth letter now. This fifth letter is acts as one event. We are no longer going to count what this way, this letter now is fifth. It's no longer going to change any position here. Okay, it's just gonna be get on what on the first position as well as what at the third position. Remember this weight is consist of how many letters? It's consist of 15 letters. 2 letters now are fixed. 2 letters now are fixed. That means these 2 letters, we are just going to minus the 2 letters here on the total sum space. We are no longer going to choose any of what these 2 letters are fixed now. Then 15 minus 2, we are just left with what? We are just left with what? 13 letters, okay? That means the total sum space, the new total sum space of this weight, it is 13 letters now, all right? Then after that, they are just telling you that the treatment of same letters are treated as what? Identically, okay? Then what you're going to do, they're just saying that calculate how many word arrangement that are just going to be created, okay? Then what you're going to do, we are just going to say that when I just have the treatment, we normally use what? This formula. This formula says that we have a number of what? Weight times a number of weights, how many weights that we have, divided the number of letters that are repeated when I just about a treatment, okay? They are going to tell you the treatment on the exam. Then after that, what it's going to do, we are just going to say now, the total number of letters that I'm choosing from, it is 13 letters. We have 13 factorial over. Then, how many letters are repeated here? We have B. Do you see B? We have B1, we have B1, 2, we have 2B that are repeated, we have 2B that are repeated, as well as O is repeated, but now it's fixed. We are no longer going to use what? O. Do you have another letter that is repeated here? No, we don't have another letter that is repeated. Therefore, after that, you punch your calculator. Then we have 13 factorial divided by 2 what? Factorial, all right? Therefore, your answer is going to be equal to 7 weights. That's going to be approximately 7 weights. That's just going to be what created, okay? Therefore, as well as if they're just telling you that, oh, now have only one O that is fixed. The weight is just going to start with what? O only. Then how many treatment that are just going to be treated? If the weight now is treated as what? Different. If the weight is treated as different, then how many letters that we have now? If the weight is going to start with O only, O is fixed, then that means that O that is here, it's going back to the total decimal space. Then 13 plus 1, we are just going to have what? 14. Then remember, when the weight is treated as identical, different is what by it is what factorial. Then we normally say that we have 14 what? Factorial. Then you punch your calculator, it is 14 factorial. The treatment as what? As different. Then you punch your calculator, you're just going to get what? Your answer. Here we have a formula. We divide the number of what? Letters that are repeated, as well as here we only use what? Factorial on when the letters are treated as what? Different. Okay, that is the lesson for today. It's just the introduction of what? Arrangement of what? Letters. Then I'll try to find what the example so that you're just going to apply this introduction. All right, please don't forget to share the video and also subscribe. Okay, I'm tired.